What if I told you that there was a way to reuse cell counter slides that you currently throw away after only one use? Beyond the Bench is a behind-the-scenes inside look at the organisations that are helping labs to become more sustainable. In this episode, I visit Imrali Inventions to understand how the iWash was developed to enable the reuse of cell counter slides. I visited the workshop back in November 2025, and unfortunately I recorded all the footage in portrait, so please bear with it for this video, but we've learnt our lesson for next time. We know that plastic waste is a big problem in the labs. There are thousands of different consumables that are used in lab settings that are single use. They are used, contaminated, and then thrown away, usually for incineration after one use. And within all of this, there's a lot of embedded carbon, from the creation of the consumable all the way to that final disposal, which, as we said, is usually incineration. One specific example of this challenge is cell counter slides, designed to be single use and then thrown away. They're really designed for convenience and to be sterile, but is this the best way that we can do it? Imrali Inventions has developed the iWash in response to this challenge. And what the iWash is capable of doing is washing a range of different cell counter slides to be able to be reused again and again and again. And it was pointed out to me that even if you could reuse these slides once more, that's a 50% reduction. Now, this video isn't a review of the iWash. That will come in a separate video. But today we're going to go behind the scenes and into the workshop of Imrali Inventions. Now, my first impressions when I entered the workshop was that this was a really exciting and professional place. You could see that all of the tools were neatly arranged across the workshop. All of the different parts needed to make the iWash very cleverly stored in drawers and very neatly organised. But you could also tell that this was a place with a lot of excitement, a place where you could see the evolution from prototypes all the way to products. So after seeing the workshop, I was really excited to get a demonstration of exactly how the iWash works. Ahmet, can you please show us how the iWash works?
Of course. This is our iWash, which is designed to wash and recycle the automated cell counter slides. And this is a specific model for Biorad's TC20 cell counter slides. We do have different models. I make different models for different cell counters because different cell counters brands, they make their slides slightly different shape and thicknesses. So that therefore I have different models for different slides. But recently I have developed a new model. It's called iWash Super Plus as well as iWash Pro models. They are all-in-one models. So I spent 5 years tinkering to solve this problem, how I can make a washer that is going to be all-in-one solution so that it can accommodate different slides from different brands. So going back to our iWash slide cleaner, I took one TC20 cell counter slide, brand new. I placed it into our cell counter. As you can see, I run the initial cell counting as a demonstration purposes. You can see the cells, 0 cells.
Yep,
can you see
0.
that? It says 0 cells. Now I'm going to remove the slide and I'm going to load the slide with some dyed beads. I don't have live cells in my workshop. So instead I'm using dyed beads. In laboratory environment we use, of course, stained cells for that. Now I have got dyed beads in both of the chambers. So I'm going to place the cell counter slide into the cell counter, and cell counter will now count those beads as cells. Now 2.5 million cells per ml. Okay, this is our concentration. There's quite a lot of cells or dyed beads inside the cell counter slide.
We're going to try and clean that off.
Yes. So to use iWash, it's very easy, very simple. You basically place the slide upside down into the cleaning chamber, close the lid, and press the wash button. and then it automatically starts. The washing step takes about 8 to 10 seconds. And you're going to hear a beep shortly, and beep will indicate the end of the wash for us. So this is the end of the wash.
Okay.
Now that it's washed, we removed our slides. This is free of any contaminants and salts and beads, everything. We can either leave the slide at room temperature for about 5 minutes and let it dry and before we reuse it, or we can put it into our dryer, a separate unit, and dry it for about 5 seconds so that we're ready to use the slide straight away.
Fantastic.
After that. So the total step takes about 15 seconds. That's it. Now slide is completely dry, and then we are good to go and use our slide again. For the demonstration purposes, I'm going to put the slide back into the cell counter. To add on our new models, the wash step has been reduced from 10 seconds to 5 seconds. It's much quicker.
Amazing.
Yeah, and the drying to reduce from 5 to 3 seconds.
Wow.
So total 8 seconds.
Fantastic.
So,
and the cells now
and tell us
back
how
to
many
0 cells per milliliter.
Yeah.
Wow.
So absolutely clean slides, ready to be used again. And instead of going to the bin, now we can reuse it.
After seeing the demonstration, I was really keen to learn from Ahmet what his motivations were to start Imrali Inventions and to create the iWash. I wanted to know the prototypes he may have gone through and any challenges that he'd had along the way. So, what were your motivations for starting iWash and starting Imrali Inventions as a whole?
It goes a long time back. When I was 6 years old, I was already aware of the global pollution. You know, seeing all these cars and fumes coming out of it, and then I was seeing all these plastics around thrown out on the streets, and I was already feeling sad for it. And I was always thinking maybe I will do something to help towards this in whatever career I follow. Even though I choose a different path of becoming a research scientist, a researcher, because I was working in the lab, and still, going back to my childhood memories, in the lab I see these plastics being used single-use plastics being thrown away. Not only they become a single-use plastic, they also become a biohazardous single-use plastics. So you cannot just throw them away. They have to go through incineration, which is more expensive and increase carbon footprint. So that was my motivation. I said, I'm going to solve this problem for myself, at least for myself, so that I can feel less guilty about it. And once I made the iWash, I took it to the lab, and then I saw all of my colleagues absolutely loved it, both for the sustainability aspects of it as well as the money saving part of it. The lab managers absolutely loved the money saving bits, more than the sustainability. But Ben, this was about 10 years ago. So sustainability wasn't a big thing back then. Our awareness for sustainability has recently become much more intense. I can see that it has become more. We have become more aware in the last 2 to 3 years. But I'm talking about 10 years, going back 10 years. Not many people were worried about becoming sustainable.
Yeah. That's fantastic. And where specifically, when you were in the lab and you saw the cell counting was the particular issue that you wanted to tackle, where did the idea come from to make the iWash, really?
I basically looked at the slides. I said, this can be washed, but we're throwing this away. And one of my skill set is to question everything. I also have this ability to see things differently, to look things from a different angle. For example, That's something comes from my childhood. I was always breaking my toys and looking inside because outside looks doesn't interest me as much. I like to know what is inside. So when I looked at the slides, used slides, I could simply see the chambers. So that is like the inside structure of the slide. And I say, this can be washed and reused straight away. So that was the, eureka moments, and also I do have this electronic and technical skills and background knowledge, and which I have always been using as a hobby. So it wasn't so difficult for me to make a device to wash them, even though it might be more difficult for a wet lab scientist to, deal with electrics and electronics and do it, because electrics and electronics is my hobby and mechanics is my hobby.
I was gonna say
multidisciplinary.
I was gonna say, because from visiting your workshop here today, and thank you for inviting us, it's incredible to see how much goes into making a product like iWash, the electrical components, the mechanical components, the validations, exactly the whole R&D that goes into it. Yeah, it's so many little parts that you've drawn up on to create this. How many generations of the iWash have you gone through to get where we are now?
Yes, I have gone through 10 generations almost. This is not a rounded up number. This is a genuine number. This has been going since 2012, Ben.
Wow.
My first prototype dates back to 6th of August 2012. I remember that day very well. Yeah. So since 2012, there is a slide washer called iWash. And I only started marketing this in 2017. So from 2012 to 2017, I have gone through stages of prototype development, which was about 7 prototypes. And from 2017 till 2025, I added 3 more prototypes to it. So you can see like 7 prototypes until I perfected it. And I came to a conclusion, this is not perfect, good enough to be, sold, to be given warranty, And then after that, I further developed it, and then 3 more prototypes, 10 prototypes.
When you came up with the idea of the iWash, were you concerned about it being replicated by somebody else?
Absolutely, all the time. I mean, to have the idea, even when I was building the first prototype, even before I tested the first prototype, I was like, oh my God, even if it works, if it works, is it going to be stolen from me? Because there are so many scenarios and stories about this, big corporations, big companies stealing ideas from, small guys. So I developed it secretly, and tested it secretly under confidential manners, actually. I applied for a patent, and as soon as I put my patent application in, I was free to reveal it, which was in 2017.
Amazing.
So even before your patent is granted, because you submitted your patent, it means that you're already revealing the information. So it already belongs to you at that moment. So you can start telling people about it. And it took about 3 years for UK to grant me a patent. And then it followed by USA, Europe, and a number of other countries' patents pending position.
Fantastic. And I'm right in saying, I've just realised that it's not long after that you won an award at Lab Innovations?
Yes. It was in 1st of November 2018.
Wow, okay, so literally a year afterwards.
I started company on 11th of January 2017.
Wow.
And after I started, when I say I started, I registered it at the company's house, And I thought, this is time to launch the company. So I was looking for a big formal event to launch the company as well as the product. And I saw the Lab Innovations coming. And even though there is a long time between January till November, I was also working full time, so I just managed to make the preparations. So I launched the company as well as iWash at Lab Innovations 2018, and I put iWash on best innovation of the year competition. It was actually, I wasn't going to put it because I thought there are more than 150 huge companies with thousands of new products.
Yeah.
There is no way, no chance iWash is going to win the best innovation award of the year. But then I thought, why not give it a shot? I put it, and to my biggest surprise, iWash won the best innovation award, and I could not believe it actually. But I did not believe it for a couple of months. It took a couple of months for it to sink in.
Yeah. A big thank you to Ahmet for letting me come to Imrali Inventions to go behind the scenes of the iWash. You can probably tell that it was a really great place to be, a product that can have really big savings for those who use cell counters, and it was really fantastic to see someone so passionate who had worked in the lab themselves, who identified a problem and wanted to see that problem solved and made it happen themselves. I think there's quite a few of those types of characters in the sustainable lab organisation space, and I'm really looking forward to taking you guys behind the scenes of some more in the future. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe so you don't miss any future ones, and there will be a review of the iWash in a bit more detail, going into the savings that it's potentially making, and that's for carbon and for money. So please make sure you subscribe along so you don't miss that in the future. Thanks a lot.